this video, we talked to you about Juventus deciding between Emre Can and Strootman for their midfield, Milan evaluating ZLATAN Ibrahimovic's return, and Inter face some competition for Patrick Schick. What's up, everybody? I'm Marco Messina.
And I'm Michael Cantaris.
And welcome back to Italian Football TV. We got a little new setup. Yes, let us know what you guys think. Trying to make it a little bit nicer with the little table. We got IFTV stickers over here. Yeah, just trying things out. So let us know what your thoughts are on that right away. And let's jump straight into the news. Michael, there's not a lot to discuss, but there is some important news. And we'll start off with Juventus's pursuit for a midfielder. Gazzetta dello Sport are saying that Juventus have intensified their pursuit to sign Emre Can. Apparently that's how you pronounce it. We were just discussing how it is. They also like Strootman, but he seems like the backup option. And within the next 72 hours, they're going to figure out which one that they want the most, but they're pursuing both fronts. Emre Can has refused a renewal at Liverpool. Liverpool want 30 million for him. Juventus are already at 25 million. And with Strootman, like you guys have commented and Gazzetta have cleaned up their story, Strootman's 45 million release clause is not there anymore. It expired once August started. So Juventus would have to negotiate with Roma, which would be an extra obstacle. But according to the Italian reports, Juventus, the next 3 days, they're going to decide which midfielder they want to sign.
This is complicated now. I still don't think Strootman should be going to Juve. I don't think he's good enough, and not much of an advantage to Khedira and Pjanic and whoever else they have there. But Can, I heard some good things about him, but I don't know too much about him. He's young, he has a lot of potential.
And he's physical. He's physical. Juventus, if you look at both of these players, to me, Khedira, Pjanic, and Marchisio don't bring the physicality that Juventus need in the midfield. You need a guy who can win balls back. Yeah. I'm not saying that they don't win balls back, but you also need that little bit of an asshole who puts in a little bit of a dirty challenge.
Like a Vidal or Nainggolan player.
And I don't see that enough in Juventus' midfield. And with Emre Can or Strootman, they do bring that to the table. But again, negotiating with Roma, I don't see as an option. I still don't think Strootman would ever go.
Here to the yeah.
Emre Can, according to a lot of my friends who are Liverpool fans, they say that this one's going to be very hard because Liverpool are attached to their midfielder. The season is starting already and they don't want to lose such a crucial part. But I guess we'll see what happens. Let's move on to Milan news. We'll start out with some Kalinic news. Everton have apparently entered the race to try to sign Kalinic. They're ready to offer 25 million plus bonuses. He still prefers Milan though. Yeah. We know he grew up a Milan fan, but Milan are under pressure at the moment. He prefers Milan again, but if this offer from Milan doesn't go through, if they don't commit to signing Kalinic, he's going to consider this move to England according to Sky Italia because he does not want to stay at Fiorentina. And having said that, Milan are looking again at ZLATAN Ibrahimovic. According to Corriere dello Sport, they want to see how bad his injury is. We know he's coming off an injury. Some reports are saying between October and November he'd be ready to start. Some saying January. So Milan apparently trying to do some tests, or ZLATAN doing tests on his own to see if it'd be possible to bring ZLATAN Ibrahimovic back to Milanello.
Wow, so there's a lot going on here. For Kalinic, I can't really complain. You know, he wants to go to Milan, but then he doesn't want to stay at Fiorentina. So going to Everton, he's frustrated, and I feel like he might pull the trigger and actually leave Italy.
Pull the trigger.
But with ZLATAN, yeah, like you were saying with the injury, that's going to be tough because say if he comes to worst January, he has to fit back in the team, so that's going to take even longer. He has to gel together.
True.
So it's missing a good part of the season.
True. But if he's back in October?
But if he's back in October, it's still going to take him time to go gel in the team. It's probably going to be December, January.
Would you commit to Kalinic?
Oh, man.
Would you commit to Kalinic?
Probably. Milan right now are a question mark, so make it a huge question mark. Go with ZLATAN, and if everything goes according to plan, they can have a fantastic season.
Yeah, so that's the striker position at Milan at the moment. Let's move on to Inter news in this one, where apparently Patrick Schick, we know he passed his medical. We brought you that news yesterday. According to Sky, Napoli and Roma are both interested in getting into this Patrick Schick deal. Inter do hold the upper hand because they've been in intense negotiations from him. And Inter are also pressuring his agents to try to get this deal done. His agent actually just came out minutes before filming this saying that 3 teams still want Patrick Schick, so not committing to Inter at the moment. But Gazzetta do say he's a step away from signing for Inter, and Sampdoria today also announced their numbers for next season, and Patrick Schick was left off the roster of the numbers for next season. But also, gotta include this, Sky Italia say tomorrow he still will be in training with Sampdoria. So Napoli and Roma trying to steal this deal underneath Inter, but Inter still have the upper hand. What's your prediction?
So it looks like
Schick
doesn't want to stay at Sampdoria. He looks like he had his mindset on a big club, and I feel like that's what he wants to do. And I feel like Sampdoria are comfortable with that already.
Talk about Napoli, Roma, and Inter.
I think he's going to go to Inter. Just because they've been close with him right after that Juve fall, and I think it's just a matter of time till he goes.
I think Roma is an interesting option, actually. I think that Inter does provide a lot for him, but Roma could be extremely interesting in the Champions League. We know that they're still working on Mahrez, and with their focus on Mahrez, they might lose out on Patrick Schick, and Inter still do have the upper hand. But as we know, in this transfer mercato, madness has happened, and you can't really rule out anything at this point. Napoli, I think that Napoli have too good of a front three for Schick to have any kind of chance. And I know I did say for Juventus it'd be smarter for him to be on the bench, but for Napoli, for me at least, I don't see him fitting in to Sarri's system as well as I would see him fitting in to Allegri's, because they do play with the front four. And yeah, I think Roma are a good option, Inter are a good option. All of this makes sense. We'll see what Patrick decides, and hopefully wish him the best. Before we go on to our shoutouts and listing all the news, Mike, a second just to talk about Mbappe to PSG. 180 million. Sky Italia is saying that Mbappe is going to PSG. How are they allowed to spend over 400 million for Neymar and Mbappe?
It's not right. It's actually getting me kind of angry because it's finding the loopholes in the FFP. Apparently all these rich clubs, UEFA's letting it slide just because, whatever, they're rich, they have the money. Well, how are they spending so much money on 2 players? What's the point of the smaller, apparently smaller clubs with not as much money? How could they compete with this? It's not right. If FFP should do something, but I don't think anything can happen.
Listen, like Arsene Wenger said, and I know this is an Italian football channel, but I think we both have strong opinions on this. Like Arsene Wenger said, when a country owns a football team, anything is possible. It's bullshit. They shouldn't be able to get away with this stuff, making Neymar the ambassador of Qatar for the World Cup and all this shit, just to get around this. But man, PSG will have a team if they do get Mbappe. Yeah, so just 2 cents on that. Don't think it's right, and I'm scared not just for today or next year, but of the bubble that could burst if all this money is going in. There's going to be so much corruption, nothing's going to stop them. And PSG have single-handedly, I know we've talked about Manchester United spending money, Real Madrid, Barca, etc. in the past, but PSG have completely changed football, this transfer market. Football will never be the same. It's a different type of spending than what other teams have done in the past. But anyway, let's get to our news, and Michael, get your shoutouts ready. Genoa and Fiorentina have agreed a price on Gio Simeone. 18 million is the deal. This one is going through. Juventus met with De Vrij's agent to offer him a contract. His contract with Lazio at the moment does expire next season. Juve do not want to sign him now because Lazio want 40 million, but they've offered him double his salary for next season so that he could join for free. So next year, Juventus could be getting De Vrij on a free contract. Nice fans will not be able to travel to Naples for the match on August 16th due to security concerns. Inter have agreed a 3 million deal for Medel to join Besiktas. Inter also had a meeting with Aurier's agent to try to find an agreement on contract. They still do not have an agreement with PSG on price. And finally, happy birthday to Javier Zanetti, the legend himself. Turns 44 today, still looks like he could be in his 30s, still looks like he would jump on the field and play some football if he could. Zanetti, now more than ever, I know I've said this about Buffon and Del Piero and Maldini, and they all fill in this category. Now more than ever, you learn to appreciate and realize how rare players like him, players and men like Zanetti are, to commit themselves to a club, to always act professionally, and to sign a football that unfortunately seems like it's dying, but just wanted to show our appreciation for a legend.
No, nicely said. Zanetti, he's a legend on and off the pitch. What a gentleman that guy is. He loves Inter with all his heart and just doing amazing. Well,
I got a funny story. Continue.
No, I was gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
gonna say?
So, one time, my grandpa is an Inter fan. I know I've said this on the channel before, right? He's crazy, obviously, you know. He hates Juve, he hates all the other teams. He's just so diehard Inter, and me being a Juve fan, one time Inter were in New York, they were at Nike Town, and all I wanted to do was just get my grandpa a signature from Zanetti, because he loves Zanetti, of course. So I printed out a picture, I went to Nike Town, and Zanetti walked inside the bus. He was already inside the bus by the time I got there. I screamed to Zanetti, I said, for my grandpa, please sign this, for my grandpa. This guy came out of the bus, like towards the edge of it, called me in to go through the barrier, and I went halfway in the bus, he signed this, and he's like, say hi to your grandpa, or he's like, thank you to your grandpa, or something like that. So absolute class. Players nowadays, they put on their headphones, they look at their phone, and they do nothing. So thank you to Javier for that, and Mike, get to your shoutouts.
Amazing. Okay, yeah, so let's go with the shoutouts. We only have 2 today, both on Instagram. So the first one's gonna be for Team Neymar Jr. _10. He said he's a fan, he's a Juve fan. Wait.
I think Juve and Milan fan.
No.
Was it Juve and Barca fan?
Yeah, he's just a Juve fan, huge fan of Juve. Okay. Yeah, he's a Juventino. But he said he does love Neymar and he would love a shout out. And he said keep up the great work, he loves IFTV and all that stuff.
Team Neymar Jr. _10. Didn't think we'd give a shout out to a Barcelona page, but apparently he's Juventino.
He's a Juve fan. So, and the next one, this guy just wanted a shout out. His name's Malik, sim_PLE. He was like, can I please have a shout out? And that was good enough. Guys, we get so many messages about these shout outs and stuff. These were just picked at random. You can just inbox us, say whatever we want a shout out, or to be directly get a shout out for the next video, you can get a hat, you know, the 5 hats that we have, you can get one of those.
One little detail that Michael didn't explain. This guy, Malik, he's a Milan fan. How come he left that off?
Where did you see that?
AC Milan. He left it off, yeah, he just...
I didn't see that. Yeah, it was. It's like the 4th row. I'll put it on the screen so you guys. I didn't even notice that.
All right, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. Comment below what you think of this set, what you think of everything that we're doing on ItalianFootballTV, and your opinion on some of the news that we mentioned. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.
Ciao, guys.